Okay, so let's see. We said that this week we're going to see prepositions. Yes? What are prepositions? Prepositions are that little connector that we must use before verbs, before places, and essentially before complement and things. So here we were looking at prepositions of time. And when we're talking about time, we're talking about here, using this time. Yes? Correct? So there is always a lot of confusion whether is it at, is it in, or is it on? Yeah? Yesterday, a student came to school and she said, "Oh, sorry, I'm late. I was with my sister-in-law because she's pregnant, waiting for a baby." So, "Oh, when is she having the baby?" And she said, "Oh, teacher, on December?" And I said, "No, not on, in December." And she, "Oh, why?" And so you see, it is actually very important because not on December, in December. Why? Because it's a month. Okay? So let's have a look. So every time, every single time, we want to talk about the time. So, for example, when we say, let's see, the class starts, yes? And so here, when we're talking about the class starts, we want to say the time, we are always going to use at. Always. Yes? So we say the class starts at 10 a.m. Yes? If you want to say, for example, I get up at, Kishore, what time do you get up in the morning? At, so you see, Kishore goes at 8 o'clock. Now, when he says o'clock, he is talking about the exact time. So o'clock can only be used for exact time. So we say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, etc., etc. Can I say 10:30 o'clock? No, because o'clock means the exact hour. Yes? So here, I could have said the class starts at 10 o'clock, but here I chose to put a.m., which we know we use in the morning. And after midday, afternoon, so 12 o'clock in the day, we change to p.m., right? Which means past midday. This one, a.m., is after midnight, correct? Good. So every time I want to use a time, I'm always going to use at. To say, for example, let's do a question. Let's do a question. So to say, what time do you finish work? Yes? So here you could also give a short answer and just say what? At 4 p.m. So here you don't need to do the whole sentence. You can just keep it short because here we are responding to the question. Yes? So what time do you finish work? Oh, at 4 p.m. And that's enough. Huh? At 11 p.m., at whatever time you want. Yes? If you want to use the complete form, you can too, because remember, you want to try and learn the structure. So in this case, you could also say, I finish work at, we're still going to use our at, correct? 4 p.m. So that would be your complete sentence, respecting the structure. Okay? Okay, let's see another example. So maybe we have an invitation, yes? And so somebody says, for example, hey, let's, so this let's means let us. This is like, come on, let's do this, yes? Deepa. Here you go. So let us. So it's like, come on, invitation. So you could say, let's go for lunch today. Yeah. Go, we could also say have. Remember, have we use for eating. So you could say, let's have lunch today. Or let's go for. So this replaces this. Let's go for lunch today. And the other person might answer, sure. Where and when. Right? And so the person can say, for example, let's meet in the city at 2 p.m. Yeah? You can be more specific if you want. So you could say, let's meet at the station. Let's meet at restaurant, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, this will depend on you. I'm being very general, very generic. So let's meet in the city at 2 p.m. Okay? So there's your where and there's your when. But as you can see, every time we use the time, we're using at. Okay? Ready to copy? Okay. Okay. But what happens sometimes when we talk about our routine? And so some of you, let's see an example. Yesterday we saw an example of this. Yeah? Somebody wrote on the board. And so they put this. I work at 9 and finish at 2. So this one is correct. I work at 9 a.m. and finish at 2 p.m. Yeah, this is okay. But what is not okay, what you cannot do, is when you say, I work at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Because when you say I work at 9, you say at 9 o'clock. But here it says to 2 p.m. No, because now you're saying start and finish. So here, yes, I cannot use at, I must use from. So why? Because you have 2 times. So here it is different because here I have 2 IDs in one. Here I say I work at 9 a.m. and finish. So that's why this one is correct. But here I'm trying to have the 2 IDs together in one. And so I work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. would be the one sentence. You cannot say, I work at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. because at is just one time. Okay? Make sense? Yes? And we can use this for everything. For example, if you go to the bank and you say, excuse me, at what time do you close? Oh, we close at 4 p.m. And excuse me, at what time do you open tomorrow morning? Oh, we open at 9 a.m. It's just one time. Maybe they might say, oh, our working hours. So when they say working hours, means when they are open. So our working hours are from this time to this time. Our working hours are from, let's say, 2 to 6 p.m. Yeah? Any questions? No? Pretty straightforward, yeah? Okay, amazing. Good. And here it says that we also use at for midnight, but not only midnight, yes? So we use at for what we call, yes, different expressions. And so here, what could be an expression? We can say at midnight. What is midnight? I'm going to do this so you understand. So it's 12 a.m. or 00, right? We all understand that this is midnight. But we can also say at midday or noon. And what is midday and noon? 12 p.m. Right? In the afternoon, at lunchtime. At lunchtime. Okay, let's continue. Now, we use on, we said we use on this one, yes, for dates and days. When we say days, we are talking about a very specific day. Yes? So what are specific days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. These are specific days. Now, a lot of people say to me, I always get confused between Tuesday and Thursday. Right? People say to me, I always get confused. I get confused because you get confused. Sometimes I have students, they say, teacher, see you on. So there's the on, yeah, because it's a day. And they put this. And I go, what? So then I need to ask. And I go, okay, just to confirm, because I'm thinking, I look at this and I go, Tuesday, you know? But just to be sure. And I go, Tuesday or Thursday? And they go, teacher, what is the difference? And so I go, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, teacher, Thursday. Because, yeah, you see? So this is a very, very common mistake. You know, sometimes when they text, you know, okay, teacher, see, and then I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Yeah. So remember, it is not a mix. So we have, let's see, Monday, which we abbreviate as Mon. Yeah. Tuesday, abbreviate as Tu. Wednesday, as Wend. Thursday, as Thur. And then Friday, Fry. Yeah. Saturday, Sat. And Sunday, Sun. Okay. So that's how they are abbreviated. And there you have the 7 days of the week. Okay. So again, we're going to say on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday. So when you say, hey, see you next week, see you on Monday, see you on Friday. Oh, teacher, sorry, I have to work tomorrow. But see you on Wednesday. On. When are you working? Oh, on Tuesday. Right? And if you want to complement, you could say, for example, Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Wednesday night, depending. It doesn't matter. It's still on because it's a day. Okay? Good. Now, we said also that when we talk about special days, so what could be a special day? For example, for us, yeah, we say on Christmas Eve. When we say Eve, this is the day before. So when is this? This is the 24th of December. Eve means the day before. And then we have on Christmas Day. Yes? Now, this is the day of Christmas, so we're talking about the 25th of December. We said yesterday that we always use, oh, look, did that wrong yesterday, ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers because they give order. So when we go first, second, third, fourth, etc., etc., yes, we are talking about the days of the month. And so when a lot of you, correct, want to say your date of birth, your birthday, we always use the ordinal numbers. So here, after Christmas in Australia, we celebrate also Boxing Day. Yes? So what is Boxing Day? So Boxing Day. Yeah? This was before, many years ago, when I was little. Actually, like after Christmas, there used to be boxing on TV. So everybody would be relaxed at home and we would all watch boxing. So this is why we have Boxing Day. Today, there is no boxing. So what is Boxing Day today? Right? The concept has changed because Boxing Day is a big sale. Yeah, they start selling all the stores. Okay, Christmas finished. Yeah, let's box. Box. Everything in boxes. Everything has to go. All the boxes have to go. And so they do this sale and everybody goes a bit crazy. Well, not so much today, but before, let's say 10 years ago, people would camp outside David Jones and Meyer all night. And in the morning, like this. And when they opened the store, people were like animals because they would run in and, grab. And then if a woman push, and it was crazy. There are videos on YouTube. It was crazy, People used to, because it was a good opportunity. Maybe something cost, I don't know, $50. You could buy for $1, for $2. So people used to go a bit crazy, and fighting, and this is mine, and grab, and not anymore. Now, for example, they do like a normal discount. Like if it's $100, then maybe you can buy, I don't know, for $80. So they do like a 20% discount, not like before. Before it used to be madness. Huh? So now today, that is Boxing Day. Boxing Day. Also known as, you could say, clearance. Clearance, or let's say sale. So it's kind of like clearance. What is clearance? Everything must go. Everything must go. Huh? Yeah? So they try to get rid of everything they have from Christmas. And then on the 27th, they start again. preparing for the new year. Okay? What is another festivity that we have? Well, after Christmas, correct? We have, and just to make this clear, yeah, this is the 26th of December. So those are the 3 holidays we have in Christmas time, okay? And see how I say in Christmas time. Actually, that's wrong. I should say at Christmas time. Sorry. See, I make mistakes too. So at Christmas time. Yeah, always at Christmas time. So those are the 3 dates that are very important. Yeah. So after Christmas, we have on, and so you see everywhere, they do this. So what does this mean? So this is New Year's Eve. And so if it's Eve, we said it's the day before. So that's what the E represents, the Eve. And so here, this is the 31st of December. And then we begin the year and we do on New Year. So now we have the first day of the year. So independent of the date, let's continue. We say on Saint Valentine's. Yeah, you can say day. Day can be like optional. Some of us don't use the day. Sometimes you go, on St. Valentine's, I'm having dinner with my partner, or I'm going dancing or whatever. Yeah. And some go, what are you doing on St. Valentine's Day? So it is optional, You don't need to use it. You can say, what are you doing for St. Valentine's or on St. Valentine's? What are you doing on St. Valentine's Day or for St. Valentine's Day? You can use both. We also, so here we know this is the 14th of February. We also celebrate on St. Pat's, so St. Patrick's. Again, optional the day. So on St. Patrick's, usually it's an Irish day. Oh, you're correct. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know, right? I forgot. So let me see. St. Pat's, I think, is the 17th of March. But yes, before these, we have Australia Day. So Australia Day remembers the day that Australia was settled for the first time. Not discovered, because it was discovered before. But this is the day the captain, he gets off the ship and boom, this is England, and now we're going to start a new country. So this is the 26th of January, Australia Day. Now, I'm not going to mention the Moon Day. Why? Because the Moon Day that the Chinese celebrate changes. Every year, it's different day. So usually, when do you celebrate? Like the last week of January? When do you celebrate, more or less? I think it's in January, isn't it? You don't celebrate. You don't celebrate. Yeah. Do you know, Tashi? Do you guys know? When is the Moon Festival? Wang? Cyrus? When is the Moon Festival? Wang? Do you know when is the Moon Festival? When you celebrate the moon? When is that? Because that is celebrated in Australia too now, right? I think it's in January, but it's not one specific day, right? It's many days, correct? So that's why they call it festival, because it's many days. So, no, October, no. No, it's in the summer. Yeah, it's in the summer. I can't remember if it's January or February. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, okay, so we continue. So then we have what other days? On Mother's Day, super important. Yeah, mums. We celebrate the mums, and that is this Sunday. This Sunday is Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is an international celebration. There's also another international celebration, which is on International Women's Day. And that day is always the 8th of March. So there are many days. As Kishore says, you can also say on Anzac. No. So you would say on Easter Sunday. You could say that, like on Easter Sunday. Why? Because when we talk about Easter as in the many days, so you would say at Easter, because you're talking about many days. So what is at Easter? It's the Good Friday, the Easter Saturday, Easter Sunday, and then the Easter Monday. Just like when we say at Christmas, remember I mentioned many days? It's the whole collective. Okay? Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. So Maria Isabel asked, about Labor Day. And so I thought Labor Day was also an international holiday, like an international idea. But so we know that in a majority of countries, they go on Labor Day. So Labor Day is the 1st of May. In many countries, but not in Australia. So we do celebrate Labor Day, but what happens also that there are different public holidays, and it will depend if it's New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, WA, etc. Each state celebrates different holidays. So, yeah. So I'm going to tell you something. Actually, New South Wales, Sydney, we celebrate 2 Labor Days. Why? I don't know. But we celebrate one in September. Oh, sorry, not September, sorry. We celebrate one for Sydney, like for New South Wales, not Sydney, but New South Wales. But then I can't remember. I think when Queensland or Melbourne, Victoria or Queensland, I don't know. One of those two, when they celebrate Labor Day, we celebrate too. So we have a holiday too. What? I don't know. People always say, it's Labor Day to say something in Victoria. And they go, oh, but in New South Wales too. Why? I don't know the history behind it. But, it's a public holiday, so I'm happy. Yeah. But what we do celebrate in Australia before was the Queen's birthday, which I'm going to tell you a secret. That was never her birthday. That was just a day of a previous king. I think her father. I don't know the story very well, but so I think before they used to celebrate the father, and then she became queen, and it just continued. And now, correct? Are you okay? Yep. So now it's the king's birthday. They just changed the name. Is it really the king's birthday? No. His birthday is different. But because the day is already a holiday, they keep the same. And I'm not sure. I think it's the 9th of June. The 9th of June. Yeah. So the king's birthday. Yeah. Okay. Good. So as you can see, if it's a specific day, we're going to say, and look, which is more important to say on my birthday. Yeah, that's an important day, right? So you go, on my birthday, I'm going to have a party. On my birthday, I'm, let's say, having a party or having a dinner with friends in a restaurant. I'm having a barbecue, whatever. On my birthday, right? And people can also ask to say, hey, what are you doing on your birthday? Right? So my birthday, your birthday. What are you doing on your birthday? Yeah? And so it's still on because it's a day. And remember, we said it's very common, correct? When people see this and they go, what is this? Huh? We said this is very important because in Australia, we do not have, like in many countries, the national ID card. We don't have DNI or cédula or ID, correct? Here we use the driving license, but everywhere you go, first question, please give me your full name, question 2, and your date of birth. And so this you need to know perfectly so the other person can understand. Sometimes people don't know the numbers. It happens all the time. Sometimes I have students, teacher, could you please help me call the tax department? Or can you help me call the insurance? And the first thing, because I am not the person, so they say, please give your full name and date of birth. A lot of people, when they go, oh, because it's very fast, right? So, could you please provide your full name and your date of birth? And people go, excuse me? Huh? Sorry? date of birth. Sorry? No understand, right? So then when people go birthday, okay. And so then if, for example, your birthday, let's say, is the 25th of July, they don't say that. They go, 25 July 1971. Wrong, right? You got to know your numbers. And what do we say? For dates, we're always going to use ordinal. So you go first, second, third, fourth. You must use these numbers for dates. So when they go, could you please tell me your date of birth? Sure, 25th of July. And then we talked about the years, 1971. And that is your full date of birth. Okay? So even though, like, I understand, you try to get the other person to understand, but it is much easier if you do it correctly. Because sometimes the person hears 1971. Excuse me, let me repeat. And they go, so you're telling me the 25th of July, 1971? And you go, sorry, Back to square one, yeah? So it's important, as you can see, to know the numbers, yes? And we said that there are two types of dates, yes? And what is the difference? One is American and the other is British. If you use the American, so yesterday I asked a student and I said, what's your birthday? And she said, April 10. Easy. April 10, American. Yeah? So she said, April 10. Yes? So we said this is American when we do month, day. But if you say 10th of April, April, this is British. And so they go day, month. Okay? So when they say, what is your date of birth? Always first the day, and then the month, and then correspondingly the year. So it's day and the month. Yes? And another thing, what did we say when we have here the S? So it says Sundays. So if I say, for example, on Sundays, I go to the beach. Yes? So what does that mean? Every Sunday. So this refers to my routine, and it's talking about every Sunday. Not just this one, but every one. Each Sunday. Repetition. Yeah? For example, we know that Tashi on Saturdays always goes to Kids Cafe. Right? Because he goes, Tashi, what are you doing on the weekend? On Saturday, I'm going to the Kids Cafe. Then another week, Tashi, what are you doing on Saturday? On Saturday, I'm going to the Kids Cafe. Right? Every Saturday. I said to Tashi, do you go every Saturday? Yeah, every Saturday. Because my kids like to go to the Kids Cafe. Right? So I know that he, on Saturdays, we might go, hey, Tashi, let's do a barbecue. No. Because on Saturdays, he goes to Kids Cafe. Right? So I can't invite him to a party or a barbecue or anything. Huh? Good. So that means every. When we say, what days do you come to school? I come to school on Mondays, and you could say to Or yeah, you could say it exactly. From Mondays to Fridays. Yes, that is the best answer. Okay? But you could say, I go to school on Mondays and Fridays. I go to school on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. When I go, when do you go to the gym? Oh, I go to the gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So 3 days a week on repeat. Yes? And as you use the positive, you can also use the negative. When people say, Nick, do you work on Sundays? I don't know, sorry. I don't work on Sundays. So it can be negative too, right? I know a lot of you do. I don't. So if I want to do it negative, let's say, right? So that means I don't work on Sundays. Here is my on. We're talking about a day. And here we're talking about every Sunday. The same, for example, if I say, I don't work on public holidays. On public holidays, right? So every time it's a public holiday, I don't work. Okay. Okay. And then lastly, we saw in and we said that we were going to use in for periods of time. Yeah. Periods of time. And what does periods of time mean? This can mean anything. This could be centuries. How much is a century? 100 years. Could be decades. How much are decades? 10 years. Correct? It could be a year. Sorry, let me do that in general. Years. It could be months. It could be weeks, days. But here, when we're talking about days, we said we are talking about the time. The time. How much is a day? 24 hours. So we use for the hours, for the minutes, the seconds. And we also use for seasons. So what are seasons? For example, when hot, summer, and then winter. And then we have autumn, spring. In America, correct, this is British. In America, they say fall. And then we have also spring. So when we talk about years, so to say, for example, yes, we can say Australia was colonized in 1788. So this was the year in which Australia was colonized. Yes? We could also say, for example, that Sydney was built, I don't know, I'm just going to say, in 10 years. So now also, this is a specific year, but here I'm talking about a period of time. Both use in. So the specific year and also the time period. Okay, let me give you another example. So here, when I say I'm leaving, yes, I'm traveling, I'm going, I'm leaving in 2 days. So in 2 days, I'm gone. But if I say I'm going away is another way to say traveling. I'm going away. I'm traveling. I'm going away. So you could also say I'm going away and I'll be back in a few days. So we said that when we use a few, this means 3 or more. So usually 3. So to say, I'm going away, but don't worry, I'll be back in a few days or in a couple of days. Still, it's still talking about period of time. So you can use in the past, in the future, present, it doesn't matter. Days, if you're talking about how many, in. And the question too is to say something. So let me show you the question. The question is a little different. So what about if I ask the question to say in, so I'm going to start first with in how many days are you leaving? So you see the construction is a little different because we go in and there's your days and we go how many as in 1, 2, 3, 4, but we go in how many days are you leaving? So then you go, for example, and you can respond in a couple of days. And definitely a couple we know is 2. Any time that you ask people for the days, like to say, I can change this. I could say, in how many days are you getting married? In how many days are you moving house? In how many days are you changing job? It doesn't matter. I will always ask in the same way to say, in how many days? In how many? That is here, this is your question word. All of this is how we ask how many days. So to go in, because we know that we use for periods of time. If, let's say, not days, let's say weeks or months, could be 2 or years, right? To say, in how many months are you returning home? Or in how many months does your visa expire? Right? So you might go, oh, in 6 months, in a year. You might say, oh, in 2 years. It's period of time. In. So we also mentioned here for specific year, for months. So let's have a look at an example of that. In June, I'm traveling overseas. To say, in 2 months, I'm going abroad. I'm saying exactly the same thing, by the way. I'm just giving you a different way. I'm traveling overseas. I'm going abroad. It's the same. So in June, specific month. In 2 months, period of time. So you see, yesterday when my student said, oh, sorry, I'm late. I was with my sister-in-law because she's pregnant, right? And it's, oh, when is the baby due? And she says, oh, on December. No, in December, right? If she gives me the specific day, so she might go, oh, on, to say something, the 12th of December, now that is a date. So on. Yeah. But if it's just the month, right? When we say, oh, when's your birthday? Oh, in May, in October, in September, etc. Just the month, not the date. And here, with the seasons, right, you could say different questions asked. For example, to say, sorry. So to say, is it very hot in summer? Does it rain much in winter? So as a question, yes? Now, if you want to respond, you could say, in summer, it is usually 30 to 36 degrees Celsius, right? And if you say, does it rain much? Much, because rain, uncountable. So does it rain much in winter? You could say, no, not much. Or you could say, yes, a lot. Or you could say, yes, all the time. You could also say, no, never. So you see, these are very short answers. You know, oh, does it rain much in Sydney in winter? No, not much. No, never. Yes, a lot. Huh? And if you want to, so you see, we go from no, nothing, to yeah. If you want to just say yes, a little, so you have different options, short answers, because this is the question. We understand what we're responding. Okay? Good. Okay, a 10-minute break. Yes, go for a cup of coffee. You can go to the bathroom, get some water. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay? And we'll come back with the exercise. ¿Mejor? Yep. Okay, good.
Hola Nicole, buen día.
Yeah. Okay. See you, John. Have a good day. Bye. Oh, thanks, Robbie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everybody here? Okie dokie. So then we saw different examples, correct? And expressions on how to use at. Now, there is no rule. The only rule is for you to memorize. Yes? So you must memorize. So the only way is to memorize. And just now, you know, when I made the mistake of saying, for example, in Christmas time, and then quickly I thought about it, I was like, no, that's wrong. At Christmas time. So this is the only way, like repeating. So we say, at the weekend. We know that we can also say at the weekend or on the weekend. At the weekend or on the weekend. At night, at Christmas, at the end of, at the moment. Correct? So here, at the weekend, yes, we said is American. So usually we're going to say, so at the weekend is American and on the weekend is British. Yes? And remember, a lot of the new generations today, when they abbreviate, so this, they use this. So to say, for example, see you on the weekend. Huh? See you on the weekend. Huh? That is the message. Yeah? Do it all again. So, you know, to say, see you on the weekend. Right? Yeah, absolutely. So the new generations today are contracting and abbreviating everything. Yeah? So you can use both. You can say at the weekend or you can say on the weekend. It doesn't matter. See, because C is the C here. I'll write it for you. Okay. So this one, what it's saying is, see you on the weekend. So that C, yeah. Yeah. Because how you say see, the pronunciation, so then it's like the verb see you. Yeah, I have my nephew now and he writes to me, oh my God, some of them I go, like I get the idea, but no, really, for real. You know? The other day he like shortened all right. It was like this. He wrote like this. Yeah. I kind of figured it out. Like, yeah, all right. But but why? Why do I think about it? Because the context, of like what he's writing or what we're talking about. So we go, oh, must be this, But honestly, I don't know. I look at this and like, because this is like learning a new language. Exactly. Oh, yeah, but that's different because that's like for your information, right? So in Spanish, you do like this. In English, it's like this. For your information. Para su información. It's the same thing, but this is taking like a whole new, way. Yeah. No, I tell you, like some of them, I go, what? But I learn. But yeah, but I just imagine. I go, must be this. I think it's this. Like many, I think, okay, but I don't know. So remember we said that so let's have a look at some contrast, right? So we say at Christmas, right? But on Christmas Day. So at Christmas is talking about the holiday season. So this refers to the holiday season. On Christmas Day is the specific day. Yeah? Okay, good. Another thing, what did we say? So always use at the moment. Yes. And as we said, no, never in this moment. Okay? So this one is no. Huh? I always hear this to say, hey, Robbie, are you still working at the Chinese restaurant? No, teacher. In this moment, no. At the moment. At the moment. Always. Yeah? So this is tick and always use this one. At the moment. At the moment. At the moment. What does at the moment mean? So what does this now? Another at the moment is the same as when you say currently. So this also means now. So when we use at the moment and now, we are always going to complement with ing, present continuous. Yes? Always with present continuous. So if you say, for example, at the moment I'm working at Dumpling Palace, to say something. So you see, I go at the moment plus your verb ing. Okay? Yes? Question. Does that help where I'm giving you these examples? Like this way, that way, so you see the difference? Does that help? Yeah? To like see it, to go, because I think a lot of these things you think, oh no, it's like this. And you do this for a long time. So now you think this is the way. So now I tried to shape, no. This one, not this one. Yeah? Or at, on, so you see the difference. Yeah? So that helps. Yeah? ¿Ayuda así? ¿Ver así? ¿Sí los ejemplos? Okay, good. Okay. Now, another thing we said, we're going to use in the morning, afternoon, evening. Okay? So let's have a look at this. So we say on Monday. We say on Monday morning. Yes? We say on Monday at 2 p.m. We use on because we're talking about Monday. We're talking about the day. But if I say, for example, in the morning, or I can also say in the afternoon at 2 p.m. So here, for example, I'm using in because I'm using the morning. I'm using in because we're using the afternoon. And here I've just added a time, but it's still in the afternoon. You see? So here you have to see which one is dominant. If it's the day, it doesn't matter. On Monday morning, on Monday at 2 p.m. The Monday is the most important. In the morning, in the afternoon. So in refers to the time. Yes, exactly. And it's in all the time. Yeah. So that is what this is about. Okay, let's check the final exercises we had from yesterday. Okay, copy. Okay, let's go to our exercises that we were finishing. Oh, and this was also super important before we go to the exercises. Remember. So we said never use nothing before this, last, next, and every. Yeah? So we said here, I'm leaving next Monday. There is nothing before. So don't say, I'm leaving the next Monday. No. Just next Monday. When we go on holiday every summer, not the every summer. Are you going out this evening? Last summer, not the last summer, the next week, no. Last summer, next summer, nothing. Don't use anything. Okay? So that is also, that's a very common mistake. I see commonly. Yeah, always the before. So we did these exercises yesterday. And now we are just missing these ones. Yep. So here we're talking about period of time. It says it's 8:25 now. The train leaves at 8:30. So the train leaves in 5 minutes. Correct? Okay. Okay. Oh, you want to do number 2? This one? Okay. Let me see. Okay, good. It says it's Monday today. I'll call you on Thursday. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3. Yes? And that's why Paul put, I'll call you in 3 days. Days. What could be another way to say 3? She could have said, I'll call you in a few days. That could have been also another answer. Okay? I'm going to put it next to. Okay. Let's see. Cyrus. Okay. Now, Cyrus put, my exam is in 2 weeks. Yes? My exam is in 2 weeks. What could be another way to say 2 weeks? So, we could also say, in English, my exam is in a fortnight. And what is a fortnight? A fortnight, not the video game Fortnite, it is 14 days. Robbie? No, it's not an hour. From 3 o'clock to 3:30? No. Yeah, it's not an hour. Yeah, so not an hour. How do you say 30 minutes? In hour? $30 minutes is what? So what? Half what?
Three.
Shush. Half what?
Three.
So if I've got here an hour, how do I say half?
50. 40 minutes.
Yeah, but I want you to say 30 minutes in hour.
30 minutes in hour.
Yeah, how do I transform that? How do I go 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Happen hours.
No, don't look over there. He's not going to help you. Here I have an hour, one, but I want half. So what am I going to say?
30 minutes. At 30 minutes.
So here's your 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I want you to use hour.
30 minutes.
So 30 minutes is the same as, look, half an hour,
30 minutes.
right?
Yeah.
Not that difficult. You've got an hour, which is one, and this is your half.
Yeah.
So you can say half an hour or you can say 30 minutes, but it's not hour. Can you fix that for me? So Tom will be here, correct? In, good, yes? No, sorry, here. Here, in, half. Shush, bite your tongue. Yeah? Half an hour. See? It wasn't past, because past is when you tell the time. So, for example, Kishore, good Robin. For example, Kishore, if we have this, yes? Right? So here you're going to say 2:30. But this is the time. But here it's saying it's 3 o'clock now and Tom will be here at 3:30. So here we have 30 minutes. Yes? So we're going to say 30 minutes. And so we said 30 minutes is the same as half an hour. What about, Robbie, come here. Come here. I'm going to teach you something else. Come here. Yeah, because Kishore doesn't teach you. He translates, which is different. Okay, come here. Look, what about if I do this? How much is that?
100. No, 30 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours.
How's it going to be 3 hours? And you're a chef? Oh my God, come on. Come here. Come here. Look, I've got like this. Yes? Here I have this and I have this. Right? So here is my half. And to say something, this is my 1/3. So how much is this? Oh my God. Look at that. This is 30 minutes. Shut up, Kishore. This is 30 minutes. So how much is this? How's that going to be 30? Look. This is your 30 minutes. So now I've divided in two. So how much? 15. Okay, come in. 15 minutes, yeah? So good, okay. 15 minutes. Right? So now, actually I'm wrong. This is not a third. This is not a third. Sorry, my mistake. It should be like this. Okay? Yes.
Yes.
Says the accountant. Says the accountant, huh? The accountant goes, that is the problem, Watson, huh? That is the problem, Watson. What's she talking about? 1/3. Anyway, I was trying to make a point. But anyway, you guys got it. Give me a sec, Robbie. Let me go back. Okay. Yeah, right. So, we said 30 minutes is half an hour. So now this is what we call a quarter. So, I'm going to go to reception and ask if they've got some tape, you know. I'm going to gag you. Do you have another mask of those? Okay. Anyway, a quarter. So this one is half an hour, 30 minutes. So here we want to say 15 minutes now. So follow the same thing. So what are we going to say? No, it's not 4 hours because I have divided. So here I have divided. We've got 15 minutes. And I've got a quarter and a quarter to say something. How am I going to say this to here? Yeah? So look at the example. It's the same thing, Ravi. It's nothing new. 30 minutes, half an hour. Okay, so 15 minutes. Yeah? Now what am I going to say? I have my quarter. So what am I going to say?
75.
Why 75? Where do you get 75?
75 minutes.
Why? We've got 15. So it's 15 minutes. How do I say that with hour? Again, this is half. This is my quarter. I call this a quarter. So we've got 15 minutes, but I want you to use hour, just like we did here. So what am I going to say? A quarter of an hour. A quarter, because this is a quarter. This is half, and this is a quarter. That is super, super important for you as a chef. You know why? Right? It's super important for you because, you know, if you're cooking with somebody and what happens if you say, chef, how long do I leave? What happens if they say, oh, just leave it for a quarter of an hour and it'll be ready? What are you going to go? I don't understand. Not everybody is going to say to you 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So you need to learn these conversions, okay? Because this is very common for English speakers. Say, oh, how long do I put in the oven? Oh, half an hour. How long do I cook the noodles? To say a quarter of an hour. Same as 15 minutes. How long, chef, how long do I put the timer for? A quarter of an hour should be okay. Huh? You're going to be like, no, right? So those two, I would say for you are must. So write them down, okay? Good. So that is, how's it going to be a quarter? 45 minutes. So now, if you want to do 45 minutes, yeah?
Quarter to
No, it's not a quarter to because a quarter to is the time. So here, we have a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, and a quarter. But you're doing this. You say to me 3/4.
yeah,
How many?
3/4.
3/4. So 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes. Because you've got 15, 15, 15. So what do you say? 3/4. So I'm going to write it here. 3/4 of an hour. Also, we use a lot.
But telling time,
Telling the time is very different. This is period of time. We are not telling the time.
like, sometimes somebody says,
No, impossible.
impossible.
You can't say, oh, it's, so you say a quarter, so you can say a quarter to, but that's 15 minutes to the next time. Because you're talking, what you're saying is, you're talking about this. You're talking about this. Yep.
Yeah.
So here, we need to go to the next time because it's past 30. So now you must use 2. So you say, it's a quarter to 1. And so here, the quarter, 15 minutes, not 45. And it's not correct to say 12:45. But I will say this. Can I erase that? Did you copy anybody's head? Yeah, I can erase. Look, I can say this though, and it's very common because people want to give emphasis to the idea. So let's say, for example, that I have been waiting for you. And let's say that I have been waiting a long time. So I'm not happy. So I might say, sorry, I'm late. Have you been waiting long? Have you been waiting long? And so the person says, yes, I've been waiting for 3/4 of an hour. And so this is your 45 minutes. And the person, instead of saying, the person could say, yeah, I've been waiting for 45 minutes. But it's more dramatic to say, yeah, I've been waiting for 3/4 of an hour. So that's why they say it like this. So that you go, oh, sorry, it won't happen again. Oh, because it's, yeah, I've been waiting for 45 minutes. It's kind of like, oh, okay. So I've been waiting for 3/4 of an hour. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, but there was traffic and blah, blah, blah. Understand? What happened, Bo? Are you going to work?
My brother.
Yeah.
To him.
Oh, Javier's going to come and pick you up. Oh, nice. Okay. I'll just get you to sign the attendance before you go. Okay? No, it's okay. Sorry? Oh, 2 o'clock. So you're going to go for lunch? Oh, nice. Okay.
My mom and
Yeah. I understand. Oh, wow. Where is it? True. This day was crazy. I didn't take a photo. I should have taken a photo. Should have taken a photo yesterday, right? So many people yesterday. How many? 21. When I only let 10. Only 10 in the classroom. Yesterday was 21. Yeah. 21 people. Lucky you didn't come because there was no space. There was no room. Yeah. Let me just, oh, okay, good, thank you. See you tomorrow. Sorry? You don't 103. Just say review. Review 103. Okay, good. Okay, let's continue. Good. Actually, that's pretty good, to know that. That is really, really good to know. And, when we say in half an hour, when we say fortnight, whatever, that is super common. Okay? To say, some people, instead of saying, so I think I'll write it on the board. I think it will help if you see it, to say something. Look, sometimes when they ask you, how do you pay or how do you get paid? Yeah? So you might say weekly. So weekly means every week. But not everybody pays or gets paid weekly. So sometimes you might go and they go, by the way, we pay fortnightly. And so this "ly" here means every. So weekly means every week. And fortnightly means every 2 weeks. Yeah? Or fortnight. Okay? Now, also, we could say annual or annually. You could say also year or yearly. Yeah? Month or monthly. And here you're going to say, for example, every, and it goes on, right? So we also use semester, every semester, 6 months, every trimester, 3 months, trimester, semester, 6 months. Okay, so we say biannually. So here we say biannual. Oh, I'm missing an N there. Or you could say biannually. Sorry, I'm missing an N. Biannually. So the bi means 2. So you would say every 2 months. This biannual is like semester, every 6 months. Okay? So yeah, that's kind of like also important to know, because some students, sometimes they come to school and they say, teacher, the person told me I have to pay every fortnight. What's that? I go, 2 weeks, 14 days, or 15, 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, fortnight. So they go, oh, okay. A student came to school too, and he said to me that they offered him a job, and the lady said, oh, by the way, we pay monthly. And I said, no. So in some countries, for example, in South America, it's very common. Everything is paid monthly. But in Australia, no. We usually have to pay weekly or fortnightly, but not monthly. Now, the electricity, for example, we pay every 3 months, every trimester. And the water too, okay? Again, it will depend on how you agree to pay this, okay? Sometimes you can pay on a monthly basis, so meaning every month, yeah? That is different. The utilities are different, but, okay, your phone, your internet, yes, we pay this monthly. But your rent, your food, it's on a weekly or fortnightly basis, okay? So that's what it means. Good. Okay, let's finish the last one, then you can go. So it says write in and on. Sometimes it's already complete and you don't need anything. Yeah? So remember, we do not use preposition before. This, every, next, and last. I'm going on Friday. I'm going nothing next Friday. I always feel tired in the evening. Will you be at home? Nothing. We went to France? Nothing. Laura was born in 1997. Good job. What are you doing on or at the weekend? I phone Robert. Nothing. Every Sunday. Shall we play tennis? Nothing. Next Sunday. I can't go to the party on Sunday. What is the difference? The next. We do not use preposition before next, but we have on Sunday. I'm going out. I'll be back in an hour. You see, Rabbi? I'll be back in an hour. Rabbi. Only Rabbi. How much is in an hour? How much in an hour? How much? 1 hour. Good. Yes. I don't often go out at night. Always at for night. Okay? Good job. Understood? Any questions? No? Okay, everyone. Good job. I hope you learned something today. Yeah? See you tomorrow.